Last autumn, Jungmin pricked herself on a thorn for the first time. The moment stuck in her memory. Chestnut burrs were strewn all over the streets. Jungmin picked one up that was still intact, lucky enough to have dodged the souls of passers-by. She brushed off the soil and opened up the shell. The inside was hollow, as if someone had run off with just the kernel. She scooped up a few more, when suddenly a needle dug into the flesh of her palm. In amongst the thorns, all alike, one lay in hiding. Boiling with rage, it had grown much sharper than the rest. Jungmin pushed down harder against the burr, wanting to punish her rider's hand for working with such indifference for so long. A drop of blood swelled. Next, a dull pain moved from her palm, down her spine, right to the tips of her toes. From that day onwards, Jungmin didn't set foot outside her flat. Only one season had passed since she'd moved to Chestnut Burr Village. Summer that year, when Jungmin had first seen the flat, was unbearably hot. As the beads of sweat crept down her neck, traipsing round to viewings became even more exhausting. Fed up with having to move like this every 2 years, she felt no particular attraction, beyond practicalities, to whatever space she called home. "Is this the last one for today?" Jungmin asked, her tone flat. The estate agent had dragged her here and everywhere across the district, making a big fuss about how something good had come on the market. But nothing had blown Jungmin away. Anywhere half decent was way out of her price range, and otherwise the location made for a nightmare commute into Seoul. "Hang on a minute. Let me show you just one more. I've got a flat perfect for someone living alone. Last one, promise." "All right, I'll take a look." It was a battle of nerves waging between the agent, insistent on getting a deal done no matter what, and Jungmin, whose response was consistently indifferent. Jungmin had, however, vowed to herself that she would view every listing and make a decision today, without delaying until the weekend. For screenwriters like herself, the boundary between weekdays and weekend was always blurred, making her time off on Saturdays and Sundays all the more precious. As they turned into the alleyway that led to Chestnut Burr Village, out of nowhere the agent asked, "Do you like chestnuts?" "Not especially." "Apparently, those are all chestnut trees, and in autumn the streets are beautiful, lined with open chestnut burrs. I'm told the women in the neighborhood go around collecting the kernels." Jungmin didn't respond. Green clumps of leaves against brown trunks. Trees in summer were all the same to her. Her eyes couldn't distinguish the chestnut trees from any of the others. Of all the blocks of flats, Residential Complex 4 was furthest up the hill. The agent rapidly ran out of words to say as they hiked the long slope, and the two walked in silence. Jungmin stopped in her tracks as soon as she laid eyes on the building. The paint was peeling off the outside, but the arched windows with their balconies, a real rarity, and painted orange frames set against the ivory walls gave it a European air. The easy cheer of the orange matched the summer heat well. It was love at first sight. One of the second-floor residents had lined their windowsill with tiny potted succulents. On one of the third-floor balconies, socks every color of the rainbow hung from a washing line, welcoming summer. Tiny yellow baby socks dangled alongside the big ones. Through the window of the next flat, Jungmin could see a bookcase stuffed with thick volumes. Maybe a part-time lecturer lived there, busy teaching at universities all over the place. Jungmin could imagine day-to-day life in this building.